So good evening, you all. I'm supposed to be taking a break social media, but however, I want to share something with you all, and it ain't even nothing to die hard or be in awe of. But there's this thing called accountability. There is this thing called accountability and responsibility. And those two things to me go hand in hand. Those two things go hand in hand. I am going to say this. If you call me, excuse me, if I'm someone who I, if I'm close to you, and I'm going to use me as an example because I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but it's something that I learned about accountability and I learned something about responsibility and also about the word priority and prioritizing. But anyway, you are, if you are my friend, cousin, sister, whomever, and you do see me doing something wrong, hey darling, you see me doing something wrong, I will want you to not go and talk about me, but come to me and bring it to my attention so that I can know that it's something that I've done wrong. Not only that, if I'm in the wrong and you see me in the wrong, if I'm doing something that isn't right, I want you to hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. And then with holding me accountable, I can't get mad at you if you're holding me accountable for something that you know darn well that I can do so much better in whatever area it may be that I'm not being accountable in. If that makes sense. And then when you're being responsible, we have so many responsibilities as an adult, as a parent, that even as at our job or however, um it, in it you have responsibility. Sis, let me tell you something. I'm like you. If you don't do that, I question you. Some people get so mad when you hold them accountable for things. They get in their feelings, they get in their emotions. Then they feel as though, guess what? Um, um, oh, you think you better than me, or you think this, you think that. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a situation that I'm like, okay, God, now I know you're holding me accountable, and I'm glad that I am being held accountable. Because back then, you couldn't try to hold me accountable to anything, anything. But however, I learned accountability because I was quick to be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know, and why you coming at me like this? And I didn't ask why you coming at me a certain way. I actually just showed you that you wasn't gonna come at me in a certain way. But it's this thing where I kid you not, I've learned so much about being accountable. I learned so much about accountability. And so I'm very accountable of all my actions. I'm very accountable for all my actions. And I take when you come to me and you're holding me accountable to it, it allows me to literally just love you even the more because you're not coming at me sideways. You're coming at me and you're like, hey, look, I see you doing this and that don't look right. It don't look right on you. You need to get this together. You need to do this. I just had this conversation with my brother. Now, a lot of people don't know that I do have a big brother. I have an older brother. And my brother has always held me accountable for all my actions, for everything I've ever done. And me and him was just having this conversation because I was just telling him, thank you for not being easy on me. Thank you for always putting me in my place, even when I didn't want to be put in my place. Thank you for making me be accountable. And the thing about it was that he can tell me anything, and I could be boohoo crying on the phone. He didn't even care if I was crying, you all. Because if I was crying, he was like, good, I'm glad you're crying. You need to cry. You need to understand this. You need to understand that. And I would hang up the phone with him and I'll wipe my tears and I'll sit. I won't call him for a couple of days, maybe some months, because that's what I do. Um, and I reflect back on everything that he may have shared with me or said to me, even though it was hurtful, but he was basically making me be accountable for my actions. A lot of us are walking around and we're not accountable. A lot of us are walking around and we're not accountable for anything. We don't want nobody to hold us accountable to anything. We want to check people for checking us when we're wrong, but then you won't praise us for when you right when you should have been doing right in the first place. Um, and then you want to get an attitude and run and call everybody, and you want them to be on your side because you feel like the person who told you about yourself, it wasn't nobody that told you, it wasn't nobody that they was telling you about yourself in a bad way. They was trying to let you know, hey, I see the goodness in you. I see that you're going left when you should be going right. I see that, hey, you told me you had stopped drinking, but now you back drinking. Oh, well, I just had a cup of wine. What does that matter? Okay, yeah, they see you have a cup of wine, but the thing about it is you had a cup of wine today, you had a cup of wine yesterday, and the day before yesterday, you had a cup of Hennessy, then the day before that day you had a cup. See, you're not, and this is the thing, you're getting mad because the thing about it is to you, you just having a cup. But you're a recovering alcoholic, but you're just having a cup. You're not drinking back to back, but to you it's a cup. And if someone is seeing you every day have a cup, they like, no, she's not getting drunk or he's not getting drunk, but they're still drinking alcohol every day. It's not back to back. It's not back to back within the same day because you know alcoholics, they drink and they drink and they drink every day back to back, back to back, back to back. I mean, baby, they can have you'll think they got a coffee cup, but inside their coffee cup it is alcohol in their coffee cup. You get what I'm saying? You think they drinking water in one of the little nice little containers. It's not water, it's alcohol. And they're doing it, and some people can function underneath alcohol. Hey, I was able to function with coke in my system, weed in my system, and a little bit of alcohol in my system when I used to go to work. Hello. Um, but what I'm saying is, if you try to correct me or try to come at me, I basically became very defensive. So it's not about them checking you. It's about them being concerned about you. Yes, you're not drinking to get drunk, but baby, I'm concerned because every day you gotta have a drink. Every day. Every day, baby. It ain't that much going on in your life that where you stressed out that much where you literally have to have a drink every day. Now I could see every once in a blue moon. I could see some people, I do know some people, they're a social drinker, meaning they only drink when they're at special events and certain and special occasions, but you're not gonna see them consuming alcohol all the time. Do that make sense? But you're getting mad because your auntie, cousin, brother, sister, whomever is holding you accountable for your actions. But what are you mad about? Why are you so mad? Why are you so upset? Because they're holding you accountable. But see, I could honestly say I used to be that way because you couldn't correct me. Because to me, it's not your body, it's not you, it's not your life that you live in. You don't know what I was wrestling with, So I couldn't see that. And you know what made me realize that was those that know me, I didn't have a good relationship with my family because to me they were always attacking me. But it wasn't that they were attacking me, they actually wanted to see the better for me. And I had some friends that I lost along the way that I felt like they was attacking me, but they wasn't attacking me. They were actually speaking to me as into because they were concerned. Some of them was concerned and some of them wasn't concerned. Um, but however, as I begin to grow and as I begin to mature, and that's right, Sasha, accountability does require maturity. I had to begin to mature in certain areas in my life to begin to take constructive criticism and then to allow people to actually say, you know what, Candy or LaShawn or LaShonda or Sean, whichever one they decide to call me, or Diane, hey, I see you doing this. Do you think you should be doing that right about now? You think you should do that? And I'll be like, you know what? You're right. I don't need to do this. Let me find something else to cope with what I'm dealing with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull the drink out because you're holding me accountable. Because you're holding me accountable, I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you do as a stress reliever? What do you do as what is your stress reliever? What is your go-to? Help me. Help me. Since you want to help me and hold me accountable, help me. And that's how I began to accept accountability. That's how I began to mature. And some people don't want the accountability. They don't want to they don't want to accept accountability. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to hear what you have to say. And they're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again to where you literally get tired of speaking and talking to them about the same thing over and over again. And I remember, it was an old saying. I can't even say it right because probably I used to be that, be what they say, you can't beat a dead horse or something like that. So you can't you can't make people be accountable. But I'm that one friend, that one sister that's gonna hold you accountable. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But however, if you hold me accountable, I'm not gonna be mad with you. I'm not gonna be mad with you. But those that do know me know that I own up to all of my accountability, and I'm very responsible. I've learned about responsibility. I learned to be more responsible. I've always prioritized. I'm not worried about that. But in the sense, you still had to turn around and do all that comes together, and all of it comes together with maturing as well. So, like I said, there's this thing called accountability. Do you have it or do you not? If you don't have it, I highly recommend you to get it. Um, and it's sad when I can sit back and see people that don't have any type of accountability, you know, but I don't judge them because I used to be in that same position and I was in that same place. But what I can do is just be like, you know what, God, give it to them and let them not think that everybody is always attacking them when they're coming to them about certain things. When you say you're no longer wanting to do this or that or whatever, it's good to have an accountability partner. I have multiple accountability partners. I really do. And they hold me to it. And I appreciate it because I never want to lose my way and I never want to fall off and I never not want to be accountable for anything. My children hold me accountable. They really do. And they should because I'm their mother. And I have to teach, I have to lead by example. So that's something that we all should be looking at. If you have children, you should know that your children are holding you accountable for being their parent, for teaching them, for guiding them and leading them, the right way. I couldn't be that alcoholic or that drunk or that party animal all the time when I'm trying to teach my kids something because I didn't want my children to turn around and end up doing the same exact thing that I was doing because then they have no good example. But I did have one of my kids. Shoot, I think all my kids probably told me that, except the four smaller ones, when they was holding me accountable for my actions, for the way I was talking, the way I was acting. And my kids used to couldn't they couldn't stand if we was out together and someone teed me off, I would cut up right there. My kids, it would embarrass them, and they would hold me accountable. Oh, mama, that's how we supposed to act. And I'm telling them, no, that's not how they supposed to act. But then they like, but you act like that. Accountability and an example. I wasn't doing a good job at it at all. But however, maturity, maturing and growing, you learn a lot. And so, yeah, it's this thing called accountability. And I think a lot of people need to begin to understand and get the gist of being accountable and what accountability really means. Um, I just wanted to share that real quick. Drop that, you know, um, because it's possible. It's not impossible. It's very possible where you can be accountable, where you're not accountable at. It, you really can. There's no such thing as you can't be accountable for the things or for your actions. You can be. It is possible. It's not impossible because you can mature unless you just don't want to mature. And then again, you may not be ready to mature. But however, when you sit back or you're standing back and you're watching things and seeing things falling apart, not adding up, not getting right, not getting in line right, you're not, nothing is moving for you. You know, people are still disrespecting you, and people don't want to talk to you. They don't want to communicate with you because they're looking at your actions. You're not being invited nowhere because of your actions. So yeah, there's this thing called accountability. Do you have it? Are you accountable or are you not? Simple question, simple answer. Yes or no. That's all I wanted to share. I love each and every last one of you. May you all definitely be blessed, and may your week be filled with nothing but peace.